Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a play of Super Squad High, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So in Super Squad High, 1 to 4 players are trying to discover who a villain is with some nefarious plans for their high school and their area in general, and they're trying to both protect their town and also do their schoolwork and also foil the villain's plans. So each player has a combination of a character. Here I've got AJ the Gearhead, and a superpower, Super Strength, that gives you your superhero name. So I'm Gadget Tank, and they give you little special powers you can use. And this is partially a worker placement game. Each player is going to place out 6 workers throughout a given round, with different action spaces based on which part of the round it is. The first 2 actions are in the morning with that icon. The second 2 actions are in the day, and then the final 2 actions are at night. Crime cards will be coming out at the beginning of these phases. So here, in this case, actually both of the crime cards are nighttime crimes, which means I won't find out what nasty things I have to deal with until I've done my first 4 actions already. But let's get to what the basic actions do. So you get 2 or more class cards. With 1 to 2 players, you get 2 cards. I'm doing true solo, by the way. With 3 players, you get 3. With 4 players, you get 4. You fill in the extra spots for solo and 2-player and even 3-player with hall passes, which are single-use chats with any classmate, and then you just flip them down. Well, the first action type you'll see is in one of these 4 areas of study. So here we've got science, tech, books, and then the one that's missing is strength. And with those, you can either draw 2 and keep 1 cards from the matching deck, which you can use to avoid these danger results when you go to fight crime with those crime cards that come out, so you definitely want a bunch of these. Or instead, you can focus on your schoolwork and take a matching icon from your current assignments, and that will both get you a better grade, and it also gives you a little check mark. Once you build up enough of them, you can use your character's special ability. If at the end of any round, any player has an F, then you lose the game automatically because you let your grade slip too much. But also at the end of each round, you get a free recharge of these cards from your laundry based on the grade you earn. 1, 2, 3, or even 4 cards if you have an A. Now, to actually find out who the villain is and what they are doing, you need to befriend people from your school. And once you become full friends with them, then you get to put one of their tokens here and find out stuff. In true solo, I need to befriend 3 of my classmates, and that will tell me everything that's going on with the villain and take us to the end game. If you don't do that before the crime deck runs out, which only gives us 5 rounds, or before we lose from too much damage happening to the city, which is what these little 5 things here do, then we lose the game. So it's kind of a race to discover who the villain is and confront them before things go way too long. But so to find out what's going on with these people, you can go to one of these little chat spaces that has their matching characteristic. So here, if I go to physics class, I can talk to someone who's edgy, like Nora over here. There's 2 for each trait. And that would let me flip over one of these 3 things to find out what she likes or doesn't like. And then at night, I can go on a date, basically, with one of these people, or a hangout. And if I can guess all the ones that I haven't already uncovered, because you have like a little selection of what each one could be, then I get to put down the little clue token, get closer to find out who the villain is, and then also they become my bestie or someone I'm involved with, and I get like a little bonus from hanging out with them for the rest of the game. Now, by the base rules, this is a memory element. You get to peek at what's underneath the token, but then you got to put it back face down. But there is a variant where you can just flip them over, and with me recording and it being hard to keep track of things anyway, I'm going to take out the memory variant and just leave everything face up when I find it. And yeah, those are the basic rules, so I think we'll just jump in. Once we get to actually fighting a crime, you'll see how that works. So for the morning, I can do a hall pass. This is a wild study, so I could flip over any of my tokens, which actually, sure, I'll go ahead and do that for strength because I don't have anything that can help me right now to get a strength thing done. So it's going to turn to a check mark. That gives me a B for the week. By the way, my powers, if I get 3 check marks, I can do a free tech action to either get a gray card or to finish up a class like that. And then my super strength lets me get way better use out of yellow cards like this, which means I probably want to try to get more of those when possible. All right, and then for my second action, what the heck, let's go ahead and talk to Nora, find out what makes her laugh. She thinks pancakes are hilarious, as you know, many of us do in life. All right, then going into the daytime, I guess let's finish up my other class. Sure. All right, so I'm fully good on my homework, but we're about to have double crimes and very low chance I can take care of both of them. Well then, here with the hey, let's go ahead and do another edgy. Find out what makes Nora sad. It's swimming makes her sad. Maybe she lost someone in a horrific swimming accident. Okay, now before we do our last two actions, we get to find out where both crimes are. Now, usually they wouldn't be in the exact same time period, so I'd have, a little bit more dispersion of these actions. But let's see. And so we've got a bomb in the waterfront. We've got hostages in Bellwood. Now, in multiplayer games, you have to complete both of these to fully deal with the threat. Any threat you don't fully deal with, you take one of these damage tokens out of the 5 before you lose the game, and they go on the villain's scheme and also boost the villain more. But in true solo, you only need to do 1 for each card. So for my first action, let's go ahead and fight the minions to free the hostages. So this is a yellow space, which means that I can cancel dice on a 1-for-1 basis with any yellow card I use. Whereas this utility belt will not be very useful. I can either use it for a gray space, like the evacuate citizens thing here, or the rescue hostages, or you can use it for the other action, which is to change any danger die to another die. But let's show you what the danger dice look like. So I'm doing fight minions. It says 3. So I roll 3 of these danger dice. And you have different negative things that can happen. So the clocks mean I'll lose my next action if I don't cancel them. The building damage means that these building things will destroy one of these locations entirely and also, again, bring us closer to losing the game. There's also a face that causes damage to characters. Then there's also 2 faces that have damage to us. But I'm just going to complete this fully by using 2 yellows. Boom, boom. I'm going to use my thumbs up here, which can be used to power your abilities. For super strength, I can double a yellow on a card I've played for 1 thumb, or sorry, 1 like they call them, or I can play a yellow card as a lightning bolt or a shield. So that gets us 3, which cancels out all 3 of these, so that crime is totally thwarted. And we get, a great reward, another yellow card or a yellow schoolwork. I'm going to go and get a yellow card because, as you saw, those are extra good for me. Collapsible baton can be used for an orange or a yellow. All right, but then to be honest, I don't think I can do this one very well. Because if you try to fight crime without enough equipment, you can actually get worse things than just ignoring. Because I'm going to only take 1 damage from this. But like if I went there and rolled 3 dice and can only cancel 1 of the results and got a bunch of things that cause damage, it'd be way worse. So let's just go ahead and let that bomb go off in the waterfront to do something else. And I think the right thing to do is to hang out with Nora at the skate park. Let's see if we can solidify this friendship. So we know that she's thinks pancakes are hilarious and she thinks swimming's really sad. We've got those things. So we do have these little, let me show them these like little date things where you're supposed to kind of say what you think they would like as you go on your date at the skate park. So it says, you dare them to sandwich roulette. What odd food condiment combo do you think they'll actually love? Okay, Well, I've got a 1/8 chance here. Let's go for something with burgers. We're going to do like a crazy burger thing. Darn it. Okay, they wanted money. All right, so the date ends, but now we know that next time we take Nora on a date, we will 100% be able to get her to become our friend, and we'll get one of the 3 clues we need to know who the villain is. All right, so because we didn't stop the bomb, we get 1 token on the scheme, and we only have 4 more before we lose. Our crimes and our class cards go away and we refill. And this time we're going to have 1 crime in the daytime and 1 at night. So not nearly as shoved together. And yeah, I should have maybe done class less and gotten more cards. Because look, with me having an A, I get to bring up to 4 cards from my laundry back to my hand for free. But yeah, I didn't I didn't need to do 4. Maybe I should have done my classwork less. Okay, so that's what we got ready to go. But then we get 2 new assignments. This time it's strength and books. But this is your little track for damage. So as you take damage, eventually you'll get KO'd. When you're KO'd, you can't actually fight crime or deal with the boss. You have to heal yourself before you can do anything again. All right, so we've got a couple actions before we find our first crime. So we can go to theater class. Oh, theater class takes care of both of our things. Heck yeah, let's do it. All right, so boom, boom. And that now gives us enough check marks to get a free... Yeah, I'll go and do that. Let's go and get a free gray item card. So draw 2 and keep 1. I mean, they're all about the same. This one could be used to prevent specifically building damage. This one's specifically a character damage, both of which are 1 face on the die. So sure, we'll do that. All right, the first crime pops up, a break-in. Lightning bolt, I only have 1 for one of my yellow cards. We got 2 from gray. Well, let's try the lightning. Depending on what we roll, we might be okay. And all right. Yeah, it's actually worked out great. I can use this one because it's use anything with a lightning bolt or the specific symbol, so that'll cancel out the building. Lightning bolt can cancel out the person. And the regular damage one can cancel out the damage, so 100% good to go. And that rewards me, with a like, to use my super strength power again. All right, and then I think I'll probably ignore the next crime again. So that being the case, let's go talk to somebody geeky. Here can be Lucia. There we go. She likes gaming. Now, a new crime comes out. Oh, man, defeat minions. Actually, I probably can beat that, can't I? Because with my super strength, I can use my collapsible baton twice. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it then. Theft in my town? I don't think so. Oh, okay. So I can cancel both the damages with this doubled with my super strength. But then I'd lose my second action. I was going to go ahead and take Nora on a date. Let's let the damage happen instead. I can deal with a little bit of damage. So that means one of the two people in this area get injured. We'll do Reese. And you can still talk to her to get her clue, because clearly you need that to win the game, but you can't benefit from talking to her and hanging out with her, because I guess she's in the hospital or something, recovering from the injury she sustained during the theft. Oh, but I do get a like back. Nice. And then as planned, boom, let's go on a date with Nora. You visit a year-round haunted house. What part do you know will scare them the most? We'll go to the aquatic section where they have swamp things and stuff. What Halloween candy from concessions do you get afterwards to recover from the scare? We'll get some really expensive chicken skewers. Now that you have perspective, what do you agree was the goofiest part of the experience? The fact that the swamp monster had pancakes coming out of his face. Yay, you're my friend now. All right, so we get to take this token and put it on the first available spot here. It's not already covered up. These are covered up, so you don't use that one in 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, so you have to basically find more clues. Here we just need to find 3. So you know that the villain is the Knave of Hearts. So it's going to be one of our classmates who is edgy or trendy. So actually Nora, who just became our friend, could secretly be the Knave of Hearts. And they're going to need a gray or an orange to defeat them at the end. That's good to know as I try to get more costume cards and such. And now I get to decide if Nora is a sweetheart or a bestie. A sweetheart will heal you whenever you go to talk to them, in addition to Nora giving us gray cards. And a bestie will give us likes in addition to gray. We haven't gotten hurt yet, so I guess I'll just make her my bestie. And then, cool, I was a lot better. I actually used 4 cards this time, so I get them all back with my good grades. Ooh, and this time we have one crime in the morning and one in the evening, so we'll get to try it right away. Although I can't forget to ignore the crimes sometimes, so I can actually win the game and find out who the villain is. But let's see what this first thing is. They're going on a rampage. Okay, so lightning bolt or fist. So clearly got fist, but lightning bolt is a little bit less. Oh, that'll get me a like right back, which means I can double use a yellow and it won't really hurt me at all. All right, so let's do my physical homework first. And I guess I'll go there as a yellow. All right, and well, I could totally take care of it with 4. So sure, let's do that. Didn't even have to use my like, and hey, maybe we'll just ignore the next crime and really try to get another friend this turn. Ooh, we can actually go on a date with somebody during open lunch. We could work on Lucia, whatever her name is. Well, she's also geeky, so we could do double. Yeah, I kind of like that, so let's find out something she likes. She is sad about bugs and bees. Maybe she watched My Girl too many times. Then I'm going to hang out with her at open lunch. You go stargazing. What silly name do you make up for a constellation to get a laugh? The Nintendo constellation. What celestial object are you both trying to see when you bump heads? Oh, I'm going to go hamburger again. Come on, hamburger. No, it's ice cream. All right, so we'll get her next time. First, let's see what our new crime is. Yeah, with only 1 card, I feel fine just letting the arson happen. All right, so let's go on a geeky date with Lucia. You browse some books on sale together. Which book do you move to the bottom of a pile so it doesn't upset them? I move a book about bees and their mating habits to the bottom. Then it's escape room time. Which theme room do you pick that they will enjoy? Escape. Oh, no, it's this one. Escape from... it's a Metroid-themed escape room. That would actually be awesome. You buy some capsule toys together. Which toy do you give them they will love? It's a little mini ice cream person, right? They have those. And you know what? Just to change it up, she's going to be my sweetheart. Yay. Which means I find out that the Knave of Hearts is scheming to build an unstoppable war suit. Oh, it's edgy and trendy from one of the 4 middle people, which means it could still be Nora. Actually, you get a bonus when one of your friends is the villain, so I kind of hope it is. This also tells us how much we're going to suffer for every 2 damage on here, and we are getting another one because we didn't stop the arson. So that means we'll take 1 automatic hit, 1 automatic bruise for each 2 damage tokens there. So far we're okay. And let's see, what if I start hanging out with Tomas? because he's trendy, so he could also be the villain. He could be my final friend. Although I never finished my schoolwork, so maybe not. Yeah, I can go back to the library after my date is finished, do my final assignment, and there we go. That means I'm getting all my stuff back again. And our crimes, are interesting, in the morning and afternoon, not in the evening. And we only have 2 crimes left in the deck, so if we cannot find our last friend to figure out the villain today or tomorrow, then we lose. Okay, we got a cyber attack. Although, you know, anything that's great with that. And we could use one like to change our yellows into another color. But we can suffer 1 more damage and be okay. We just don't want to suffer 2 more. So maybe we just let that one slide and work on getting Tomas to be our friend instead. Because I see another trendy coming. Oh, he thinks that coffee is hilarious. And then I can go to study hall to get one of my 2 strength homeworks dealt with. And we failed to stop the cyber attack, so a 3rd damage goes on the threat. And we got another rampage. Okay, I can definitely deal with that. You might as well take care of it now. By the way, I haven't used this much because you don't use this much in solo, but there is a patrol space you can go to at any time of day. It gets you 2 cards back from your laundry immediately, and then you can help other heroes out that go to a crime in the same spot. And that's something you can do in general in the multiplayer game that's not in the solo game. You can use cards on each other's things when you're in the same spot. All right, let's punch this rampage in the face. Whoa. That was actually cool. I don't have to use any likes again because, look, I can use 3 punches and a building to stop the 3 things and a building. Cool. And then I get a 3rd like. That seems like maybe too many likes. All right, and then what should I do for my next action? I guess I'll check out another thing about Tomas. He is sad about rockets. Okay. Now I'm free and clear for my last 2 actions. Let's try to get this guy to be my boy. So we'll go to the stadium. He likes to hang out at the sports things. You go to a sporting event. What team do you think they will root for? The Cappuccino team. Come on. What's this town called? I don't know what the town is called. The Rollicking Cappuccinos. You get snacks at the concession stand. What snack do you offer to share together? Come on, burgers. You're my... Yes, let's go! And you share stories about sports injuries. Which injury do you think they will relate to the most? What do they have? Oh, the rocket injury? I don't know. Yes, we got lucky with the one guess, especially as you go deeper into the things, sometimes that'll happen. So we do know that the Knave of Hearts is trying to build an unstoppable war suit for greed. And we get to find out who it is. So between Nora and Tomas, because they're the edgy, trendy people in the middle, it's whoever has the first appearing. Oh God, Nora, no! Nora is the greedy person building an unstoppable war suit. That's why she has all that soot on her face, because of all her war suit shenanigan building stuff. All right, well, let's get some cards to help deal with the boss. I'm going to get a gray. And I shouldn't need the lightning bolt, so we'll keep that one. And then because we fully determined who the villain is, we don't play another round. We just go straight to the final fight. We still do end of day stuff, which means, I never did my final class. Darn it. I only get 3 cards back. I guess I'll get all my yellows. Oh, and I can use 3 of these to get another gray. Nice. So I feel like I should have enough to beat the boss. And then because I'm besties with the person who ended up being the villain, I get to resolve their bonuses immediately. There's also the same bonus I would have gotten if I had chatted with them again. So you can hang out with your best friends to get bonuses. So we get another like and another gray. Picking that one. And now in multiplayer, we would each have to fight off a different thing, but in solo, I'm just going against this one, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's orange or gray 6 dice. And if I get knocked out, then it does a damage. If I let any of the things survive, it's going to do a damage, so I pretty much have to, defeat the person. But I'm not worried about that, because I can pay a like to use yellows as grays, which means I have 7, so it doesn't really matter what they roll. But let's see what happens. Hey, there we go. I finally got some damage because I could have just taken that as hits and not lost anything. But yes, easily I'm able to stop the villain's plans. I don't think Nora's heart is really in it. Once she sees that I'm opposing her, she probably just wants to give up anyway. Although if that seemed easy, there are lots of ways to make the game tougher. First of all, there's a special card for each villain that starts adding little special tokens to the game when they get revealed. And then also you can give yourself sort of Spider-Man-esque dilemmas, things you got to deal with in your teen life, in addition to trying to solve the whole villain thing. So yeah, that's Super Squad High. It's not quite as interesting in solo mode, but still works pretty well. But I've definitely played the game multi-handing where I control 2 characters, and that's very easy. So that's probably the way that I would prefer to do it, but I wanted to show you how the true solo works. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Steve Wren, Miles, and Wayne Scott. We'll see you at the next stop.